Everyday Spacer.
I'm Jeff Miller, 2049 Outfitters.
At Everyday Spacer, we show regular folks how to personally and directly participate in space exploration, science, and astronomy. We're here on Friday nights at 9 p.m. Pacific Time, 12 midnight Eastern Time, and 2 p.m. on Saturday in Queensland, Australia. We're broadcasting live from Thousand Oaks, California. Thank you so much for joining us.
Okay, tonight's topic is another citizen science project, Radio Meteor Zoo. We'll be back in 6.8 seconds. Okay, we're going to take a couple quotes directly from their website. The first one is, help us identify the various complex shapes of meteor echoes in BRAM's radio data during meteor showers. And the Radio Meteor Zoo images provided by the and this is what BRAM stands for, the Belgian Radio Meteor Stations. Which is why I'm saying Brahms instead of Brahms, which I typically do, but radio is radio. I don't think we say that. Brahms is hey.
Hello.
Hey, Michael.
Welcome. Hi, Michael. Hi, Cliff.
Hi, Cliff.
Thanks for being here with us. Yeah, we're doing great.
BRAMS is a network of radio receiving stations which uses forward scattering radio waves bounced off of meteor trails to detect and characterize meteoroids. They capture images of ionized air that the meteor travels through to study these visitors from space. One transmitter emits a pure sine wave, 49.9 megahertz at 150 watts toward the zenith. About 30 stations scattered around Belgium receive and record the radio signals reflected off of meteor trails. As they call, also
meteor echoes.
Meteor echoes, yeah. The stations generate a huge amount of data with tens of thousands of meteor echoes detected every day.
Hey, Michael.
Hey, Mike.
Awesome.
Good morning, Michael.
Thanks for joining us. I think it's actually afternoon in Hong Kong.
Yeah. Well, if he just woke up, it's morning for him.
Yeah. He might be a night owl.
Another quote from their site, BRAM's data are saved every 5 minutes. With approximately 30 stations in the BRAM's network, more than 8,000 spectrograms are created every day. And we'll see more of that, section that quote's taken from during the demonstration. Next, we'll delve into the project.
All right, so I have to share my screen. It's live when I did not set this up in advance. I'm very sorry. All right, share screen. There's only one, I think. There it is. I think we're there, right?
Yep, we're there.
Awesome.
Do you want to see us too, or?
Nah, let's just show this. Thanks for waiting, folks. All right, so we are back to Zooniverse. It is loaded with incredible projects. It's rich with these wonderful things that you can participate in yourself. And this one happens to be called Radio Meteor Zoo. And it has some of the typical things, the name here. This is kind of new for these. There's lots of information about, the fact that they've got new data all the time. And we just heard they've got like 8,000 spectrographs a day. And this one is talking about the Geminids and the Perseids. So even though, and we'll see in a second, there's a lot done, they are continually adding more. This project's been around since like 2016, and it has the usual navigation up here about classify, talk, collect, and we'll delve into those a little bit more. But one of the things I wanted to point out is this line here, which is a little hard to see here, but I have reproduced it here. And if you are new, you go ahead and look at the FAQ and also the field guide. Sort of looked at this at the end. I thought, I probably should have looked at this at the beginning. And this is incredibly juicy and meaty and lots to chew on, lots to sink your teeth into. it's going to be an overview. Hey, Tex, thanks for joining us. So I'm going to definitely tell you about things. I'm going to make sure that you know that there is a lot more where that came from. This is the demonstration, the overview, and absolutely more is involved in this, and you can delve into it, deeper and deeper and deeper. All right, so one of the things, I don't know if this is typical for these, but there is a link here about the statistics for this one. So I'm gonna have to watch for that. You play with something and you see new things all the time, but these are what they look like. You get these charts in blue here, and we'll talk about what you're doing with them. You're kind of looking for some of the signals in here and trying to separate them from the noise. All right, as it says, 90% complete, but they keep adding new material. So this might stay at 90% complete for a very long time.
Yeah, it's likely if they keep adding it at that rate and people keep whacking it down.
Got it. All right, so again, this helps. We're helping them to identify various and complex shapes of meteor echoes in BRAM's radio data during meteor. I don't know how we should hear them say it someday, so we'll actually know. And they do talk about where they come from, this Belgian radio meteor stations. And again, like a lot of these projects, they do some things with algorithms, but then they go, to identify them, the eye remains the best detector, and they want help, and they talk about hundreds of eyes to manually identify meteor echoes during some specific meteor showers. That's kind of when it's hardest for the computers, the artificial intelligence computers. They can't handle the data as well as human beings can.
Oh, well, ionized air is very good at reflecting radio signals. In fact, the ionized layer in the upper atmosphere is what we used to bounce radio signals off to get over the horizon.
Oh yeah, amateur ham radio operators still do that, Jeff.
Yep. Do they still call it the heaviside layer, or?
I don't know about that part, but you know what? Dan Tweet might know. Hopefully he joins us tonight. I did tag him in Facebook. All right, so to proceed, and they just talk about their European Citizen Science Association. I do have more about the team that's involved with this. But yeah, there's lots and lots of stuff here. I could be here all night going into this particular project. There is quite a lot to learn in regards to meteor showers and so forth. All right, so we're going to click into the About part here, and there's all these segments: research, the team, results, education, FAQs. I am going to cover the research and team the most, a little bit about results, and I kind of forgot about education and the FAQs till later, but you know what? Always leave them wanting. You can look at those for yourself. I think Jeff added the link as well as flashed the link on screen. So
and
yeah.
There it is again.
Right.
But it's in the chat, so you can. It's clickable in the chat. It's not clickable on the screen.
Yeah, should be clickable in the chat. All right, so there is the research part, and I just put a little bit of it here because we're going to see a little bit more. But this is the Belgium network of radio receiving stations that use forward scattering to detect the characteristic and characterize meteorites falling into the Earth's atmosphere. And remember we talked about the one that's transmitting? Well, here's a picture of it, and it's in this location in Belgium. And all these other dots here in blue are the receiving stations. And here's one, and I thought it was the building until I started looking at them some more. And it's actually this, it's basically an antenna. Oh, yes, and that's the thing about, Cliff, the trails can be very small, and that's the important thing about getting help from actual people, because we can see them more easily than the computers can. So yeah, check it out. This is really fun. It's pretty easy to do, and it's almost addicting. But yeah, there's lots and lots of material here to sink your teeth into if you want to delve into it further. So here's the detector right here. So, I mean, imagine you could actually have hundreds of them all over. In fact, they do ask for help with that if you want to do that. It's somewhere in the material here. I didn't put everything in my screenshots for you. So there's the red triangle, and it emits this 49.97 megahertz steady wave, and it keeps 150 watts. So they know where it comes from. That's the whole point. What is it? What is going out, so they know what's coming back, what the differences are, that kind of thing. All right, so it's reflected on the trail, and these 30 receiving stations will receive the information. All right, yeah, they call it meteor echoes. So a lot of the stuff that we've already talked about is right in here. And one of the most interesting things I thought was that, these can be recorded 24/7. You don't have to worry about the weather. You can actually capture this information even if it's cloudy. They are sensitive to meteorites with lower masses that do not produce any visible light but are much more numerous. All right, so we did delve into this a little bit, huge amounts of data. And again, it's talking about the algorithms and what's, important about having help. So, meteor showers. Oh, yeah, and it was, talking about meteor showers because there's lots and lots. It's more active, and it's a little bit harder to distinguish for the computers, which is, where people come in and help. So, yeah, and then they say, of course, the Perseids, very well known. And there are some complex shapes involved with it. So, all right, well, there's lots more. Like I said, go there, read the stuff, learn about it. It's really cool. All right, and they do delve into what is a meteorite and what is a meteor. This is all underneath there. It actually is pretty extensive. I just have like a sample and a meteorite. So they tell it the difference between these particular things. They talk about a meteor shower and why we get them. Yeah.
So the different types are space rock not going to hit us, space rock going to hit us, and space rock hit us.
Okay.
If you go up to that top image.
Yeah, that's pretty much, yeah. Exactly. That's a pretty good summary. All right, and so, there's really a lot here, and I think for anybody who's even remotely interested in this, it is a great resource. But they've been at it for a while. They talk about ionization trail, the trails themselves, and they have a nice diagram of this forward scattering of radio waves. Just a teaser here. You should go look. Hint, hint. All right. So then they talk about the actual spectrograms we get, and they're really beautiful. You prefer the mist?
Yeah, unless they're small rocks, then you can get to find them.
Yeah, we were just watching Meteorite Men, and it was very interesting. It's like, oh, yeah, we're doing tonight's talk about that too.
So, technically, couldn't you call all of the asteroids meteoroids?
I suppose.
They're space rocks that...
Yes. Right. So they do go into these spectrograms, and they talk about like the different parts of it. Like this stuff here is like airplane signals from airplanes, that kind of thing. And this is the 5 minutes along this line of this spectrogram. So each one is a 5-minute capture of this information. And then we have things like this, which are really hard for the computers to read. And we'll see some more about some of these more vertical lines. And I do have some questions about them. So, but I haven't delved into this completely. I'm sure the answers are there somewhere. All right, so these horizontal signals come from the transmitter. And that's, but it's interesting here that says they're built in a way that the 200 hertz range is centered on this signal, which I don't completely understand. So if there's somebody out there who's a lot more versed in radio stuff, that would be wonderful to hear from you. These reflections of the, oh yeah, like I said, the radio waves on the airplanes, that's these long sloping ones. The short-lived signals, short-lived, the underdense meteor echoes, I think that's these little things here. these kind of vertical dim lines. And then, yeah, dust particles. But then the overdense ones are like this really big mass of it here. That's just kind of a mess for the computers to figure out. All right, and so the whole object, the whole object of this is to find them and put a red box around them, like these demonstrate.
Oh, and the first one is the handgun meteor.
That's just its signaling.
The next one is the Arkansas meteor.
Okay. So it looks like, okay. So let's see. And then they talk about some things that, aren't really part of this, but they do show up. And they, they'll explain that this really isn't what we're looking for. It's these little things in here. But I'll get to that more in a second. All right, so lots and lots of information. I would say, read to your heart's content. Learn as much as you like about this. Yeah, here are the 7 airplanes. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and probably that one's 7. All right, but then, and then there's more. Sometimes a lot more. All right. So then they talk about these weird, these are really weird. And I don't even think they're airplanes anymore. Yeah.
Oh, Cliff says the beacon is in the middle of the signal range that they are looking. Yes. Yeah, that's horizontal
the line here.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah, I haven't read every single piece of this, but so, and then they explain that with, every 5 minutes with approximately 30 stations, they're gathering 8,000 of these a day, every single day. And they do use the automatic, detection algorithms for some of them, but they've had some troubles with other ones. And that's what they're displaying for you here to get the help with. All right, so then we talk about the team, and they go into the folks that are involved. I've put one picture of the main guy, Harvey LeMay, and then just a little bit of information on the other folks here. But all their pictures are there, and you can read about them, where they're from, what they've done, their background, that kind of stuff. And it sounds like a really great team. I always like to make sure we talk about, the folks behind the project as well. All right, so those are the people, and a little bit about what they're doing. And the results here, I just show you the one screenshot because really this just goes on and on and on for it's basically almost 6 years worth of results information. So they talk about the Rhinos, and all of them have kind of a name, which meteor shower they're explaining in these charts and graphs and different things. There is a lot more. No, I guess it's 5 years, sorry.
And probably on the website, they actually tell you what the different colored lines mean.
I don't remember. This, like I said, it was a big, juicy project. Lots and lots of stuff to sink your teeth into. Go look! All right, and so then we get to the classify part, and this is the fun thing that we do to help the scientists along. And as with many of these, they have these nice tutorial panels, and they go through them. What do we see in the images? And then we click the continue, and you can read all this stuff when you're there. And it was cut off, so I decided to give you the whole text for this one. All right. And they talk about what they want. They want us to draw these little boxes around these vertical signals. You're not going to, tell them about this. You're not going to tell them about this one. And this is the 5 minute, like Cliff was saying. The
beacon.
Yeah, the beacon. This is the information they want you to help them find out about. All right, so you click on the rectangle tool, and draw around the meteor echoes. And just like all the projects, they're going to have lots of people looking at these. If they do have one that has kind of information, results all over the map, they'll take a closer look at it. So don't worry about it. Just do your best. Have fun. A little bit more about that. The rectangle tool. And you can remove it. If you made a mistake, click on the black cross in the upper right corner of the rectangle.
Yeah.
We'll be able to see some of those in a minute.
Yeah, one of the nice things about the Zooniverse stuff is that a lot of them use roughly the same controls. So once you learn how to do a few of them, you have a rough idea of how the controls work for all of the rest.
Oh yeah, and this one is no different. It's very, very similar. And they do explain that you don't want to really get, way out. This is too large. You want to kind of just cover the meteor echo itself. Hints. Draw the smallest possible rectangle around the meteor echo, but don't go too small either.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so Cliff is saying that what we're seeing, the vertical distances, these are the
okay, so that's where we get 200, 100 megahertz top and 100 below.
Right.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much, Cliff. Yeah, I don't know a lot about radio stuff. And in this case, it is too small because we've missed some of the information up here and a little bit down here too.
And it looks like it can get a little bit tricky sometimes to tell what's information, because the stuff down below, it starts getting into noise dots too. So you might not, so sometimes it might get a little bit tricky. Where does the information end and the noise begins on there?
And I think that's the good thing about having, many people look at these.
Oh, good. We understood what he said.
Yeah.
Good.
Oh, awesome. Thanks, Cliff. Really appreciate that. Yeah, I think I knew what you meant as soon as I read that. 100 above and 100 below. Okay. So, yeah, go ahead.
David, I don't think so. I think that this is only keeping track of stuff that's in the atmosphere. I think it's reflecting off of the ionization in the atmosphere as the meteoroid, goes through it. So, so I don't think that this method will reach anything that's outside our atmosphere. I don't think it reflects enough for this.
That's a really good question, though. It would be really nice to have something that we could kind of, work with that as well. But a lot of the stuff comes down eventually with the solar cycles and everything.
Yeah, and maybe we could probably do it, but it'd probably take much finer detection, much greater output and much finer detection. And the stuff that they built is kind of garage built stuff from what it looked like. I mean, the detectors were definitely something that you could get from a electronics store and put together.
Yeah, they do talk about amateur ham radio operators helping out. I mean, you can build a radio telescope from home. I mean, it's not that hard. There's instructions on how to do it, and people have done it. There's regular folks like you and me, and that you don't have to be like any particular degreed person, or it doesn't take a huge amount of science. I think we got another comment from Cliff. Really appreciate you guys coming in and talking to us.
Yeah, but it would still show up something burning up on the inbound. So yes, I guess space junk that's heading into our atmosphere might last long enough to show a trail here. Don't know. It'd be interesting to see if their data also includes space junk coming in. Don't know, but
and Dan's gone away, and he is an actual ham radio operator. How does the cosmic dust hit in there? Okay. Yeah, I don't know. They do mention that these are pretty small. Of course, when you see something like this, and I don't know if you can see this very clearly, but it's not brightly lit up like some of these. I think those are the really, really small particles, Dan.
Yeah. So David, so it's more of a spectrographically aligned analysis program.
What's a sonics brigade?
That might.
I don't know what that is, David.
That sounds like either a musical reference or something that might be something down in Australia, but
okay, I don't know. Because
to me, Sonic is a hedgehog. But
what else you got, David?
Where would you think would be some of the best place to find bits of? Yeah, tons of meteoric dust. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's a really good idea. Yep, put a magnet at the end. Like I said, we were watching the Meteorite Men, and they just wander around with magnets on a stick sometimes. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You can find a meteorite wow.
Yeah, and of course,
not very high tech.
The easiest places to find them are deserts because.
Right. Well, if the rock is a lighter color than the meteorites. Right. At least,
yeah.
Well, right. Yeah.
Yeah. Not much of the stuff that comes down is that small or that big. Yeah. Most of it's a lot smaller. And nowadays we do aim for water instead of dirt. So
yeah.
I think we apologized for that at that point, but I don't think we knew enough to put it anywhere near where we would want to put something. So it just came down and when it wanted to.
Maybe we need a show about that. Let's work that out, okay?
let's find someone who actually knows about that.
Fantastic. I love it. All right. So they do go into, all these different hints and everything about how to use this. Yeah, Daniel.
Oh, there's a ham radio science project that tracks space weather too, based on ionospheric beacon propagation.
Yeah, I think I have that link. We have not looked into it just yet. We'll have to do that. Hey, if you want to do a program with us, help us out, man. All right, so then they talk about...
You're never going to finish this, Cam.
I am. We'll be here till midnight, but we're going to finish.
Yeah, David says, are you familiar with the Australian Desert Fireball Network?
No. Oh, my God. David... we need a segment on our show with you because you're in the Southern Hemisphere. You've mentioned it before, and I'm like, I don't know anything about this stuff. How would I report on it?
Yeah.
So you are officially invited to have a segment on our show from now on.
Well, the desert area would be great for that because not only are they easy to find in the desert,
yes,
but it'd be dark skies out there, so any kind of light is likely to be an event of something coming in.
Mm-hmm.
Or an airplane in which you shake your fists at until it goes away.
They blink. That's okay. All right, so they do mention if you have a couple, and they've exploded this up here. I'm going to talk a minute. They have exploded this. It appears to be two. So there's one, and there's the other one, but they're really difficult to separate. So they just say, you know what? They're too close. Put a box around the whole thing, the whole smash. All right. So what do you got, David?
Okay. Professor Phil Bland led a team of students from Curtin's Desert Fireball Network team to use remote cameras to track meteorites that regularly enter the Earth's orbit and landed in the Lake Eyre remote regions of South Australia. Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, and Cliff. Yeah, Cliff.
Yep.
Pretty much the interior.
Yes, right. So another hint is they say, absolutely remember to include all of them. So there are all these, and then there's this one. Don't forget that one. Even if it's way on the edge, do not miss the ones on the edge.
Oh.
What show is this? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Nice.
Very cool. Yeah, you got to come back and tell us about that, or find somebody who's involved with it. That'd be really great too. We'll have people on the show, no problem. Whatever we want. Oh yeah, good. Lake Eyre.
Too bad they couldn't spell it that way.
That's a funny spelling for air. All right, so don't miss them, even if they're on the edge like this one. And we're almost done with the tutorial. All right, and then they talk about, brighter, longer duration. Remember, this is time. So this one obviously was very bright, and it lasted for a while. Oh, Don't Look Up. Okay. Wait, that's a comedy?
Oh, Lord.
Well,
You know, you just look at things and you think, gotta miss it.
sometimes, yeah.
Uh, it might be good, but ouch. I'm just, I used to live in Michigan, so I actually do know the Michigan State University. So, um, yeah, yeah. Oh, come on. You guys have had, I've seen some of your movies. Oh, no, that was New Zealand.
Never mind.
Black Sheep. I'm just saying
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Just saying that.
That was New Zealand. All right, so they do talk about these long, bright, long duration ones. Remember, this is the timeline, 5 minutes total. So this lasted quite a while, actually. I think it's about making sure to get them all. Let's see. Yeah, the various and complex shapes. And they talk about the 4, kind of from the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one, obviously. And you just want to box the whole thing. All right, and then they talk about lines like this thing right here. It is not what you're looking for. These are not the droids you're looking for. This is a broadband interference signal, not a meteor echo. They may appear discontinuous. All right, so we are ready. Let's go. I tried this out, and this was the first screen I got. Again, here's the tool.
There's lots.
Yes, there are. And that was the thing. I wasn't sure. So let me just talk about what happened here. So here's the rectangle tool. It's very easy. You click on that, and then you just like click and drag across these, right? And you know, you try and get them. And I actually did this, and then I went back to the tutorial. I'm like, huh? You know, because like there's all this stuff, and then there's these that are below. You know, what exactly is included? Yeah, what is that? I think that's just noise.
But it's noise aligned vertically, so wow.
Yeah, so I did some of these. I drew around some, and then I clicked on the tutorial again, and I looked again. Right? Oh yeah, here we go. Here's the rectangle tool. It's very simple. Rectangle tool, draw around them, hit the done button. And so I had to go back. Oh, and there's that X. There's the X. If you made a mistake, you want to, like mine, maybe could have gone a little higher. It's really hard to tell. Like, is this just noise?
No, I think.
Well, and that's the thing. I went back and because I was like, huh, but I see a lot of other stuff here. Does it have to cross the line? You know, there's like maybe I missed one here.
Yeah.
Because I think I added a couple more, but I don't think I got that one. And again, this is why they, you know, have a lot of people look at these so that they can, you know, really figure out, okay, is there a discrepancy here? Maybe this is the one we should look at out of. And so like here, is this or isn't it? And I added a few because I went back to that tutorial. I'm like, oh, okay, I think this is one. And I think this is one, but I didn't think this was or this. And I absolutely could be wrong. I get that. So you just do the best you can. Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't worry about it too much. And then you click done. When you think you got them, hit the done button and get the next one up. And sometimes these are pretty involved. So then you draw boxes around the next set.
At least these are pretty clear.
Yeah, they're more clear, but even here, like I don't know if this is one because it's not across this.
Well, remember that's
line.
only the middle of the frequency range.
Right.
So they picked that because that's where most of them have signal in. But yeah, I would think that above and below are also included. But
yeah. So yeah, what would you choose? So there's my question for you. And if you want to go and try some out, this is what I picked. This is what I did. And I'm pretty sure that's what I chose. And then I hit the submit button. The done, sorry. All right, what do we have next? Oh yeah, and then we get some weird stuff like this. And that's what they want you to talk about. They want you to find these weird things. What?
David, he just ran us.
Oh yeah. I wrote about that.
8 years of age Brazilian girl,
Yep.
Nicole Oliveira, known as the world's youngest astronomer, looking for asteroids as part of a NASA-affiliated program.
Yeah, at 8, your eyes are very good. So right on. Let's go. Get the kids in on this. Oh, yay, Sonics. Okay.
1998, a bright fireball was observed over the northern New Mexico, part of the annual Leonid meteor shower.
Oh, right. They're bright.
Although the event did not produce any sonic boom reports, it was detected by an infrared radio meter sound detection. And by an intensified camera located in the state. Los Alamos. Okay, I guess the source was Los Alamos National Laboratory.
Thank you, David. You are an incredible resource. Thank you so much for being here and interrupting my show. You know what? That's what this is all about, though. We are here to facilitate this process.
And the more we can learn, the better.
Yes, absolutely. It always helps us. All right, so here are the ones I wasn't sure about. And I did not pick them in this particular spectrogram. The other ones I did pick. These ones in the boxes. And they do have, like typical, a field guide. There's only 2 pieces to it. I will refer you to those because there's lots of information in there. And I think it's going to answer some of these questions. You know, you have a limited amount of time to put together your show, and I give you this, you get to do the rest. But that's what citizen science is all about. We all have an opportunity to make a contribution to this project. So, you know, do a few, do a ton. It's up to you. I've done, like I said, it's almost addictive. You're like, ooh, box, and done. It's very, very cool.
Well, that's how I got started doing, counting craters on Mars.
Yes, right. I remember. So after a while, I started noticing, oh, it actually counts them for you. How cool is that?
For doing the citizen science project or for setting up the radio emitters and detectors. I don't know what you're referring to, David. For the citizen science project, we pretty much ran through it in about 5 minutes of training. It probably takes longer to actually do the training, but about 5 minutes we ran through it here. To do the detection and do the actual detections, the equipment seems fairly basic and easy. I'm pretty sure that, setting up the computers to take in the data correctly is a problem. Oh, the citizen science. Okay, good. Yeah, because that's something that we can talk about.
Yeah, pretty much what I showed you. You know, what you see is what you do. I don't know if there's much else to it unless you want to refine your, idea of what you're seeing there and and then that's in the field guide, the frequently asked questions. Remember at the top, I pointed out 2 different links. I would just go look at those.
Yeah. A lot of these, some of the Zooniverse stuff is pretty involved, but most of it is just learning different shapes and learning how to detect them with your eyes. And this is just another case of that. And so the training involved is just to train your brain to learn which things to pick out.
Yeah, I would go through all those tutorial screens like I showed you, and then, try a few out, and then just delve deeper and deeper into the various parts that they also say, you can look here too, and just, kind of do it that way and have a good time, really have fun. And of course, this has the talk and collect parts, and there was an article, and look at this. I guess it started about August 12th, 2016. So this has been around for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be around for a while still. And I think it's an excellent project for really anybody.
Actually, this would be very good for high schools.
Oh, yeah. Let's get the kids in on this. Oh, my God. Well, I think that it would get them started. It might get them excited.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, that's part of why we do this too, David. We want to show regular folks how to participate. It's not that hard. And they will show the results. They have results for these.
We just need to get some teachers in on this. Yeah, some science teachers.
Yeah, let's start looking for people.
Yeah.
Come on, put that away. We'll talk about that in a minute. Yes, that is in our stellar events for the week coming up. All right, so this is a project of the Royal Belgian Institute for Space Aeronomy, BISA, and funded by the Solar Terrestrial Center of Excellence. I do like to point these out because I think it's very important to know where these come from and who's behind it.
Accent? Who's got the accent?
It is easy, David.
My accent comes from living in like 5 different places in the U.S.
Yeah. So one of the other things I wanted to point out was at that first page, they did have a link to the project website. And I just have a quick screenshot of it for you. I mean, there's just plenty of information. There is the transmitter.
Yep.
That's all it is to it. There's I don't even know what this is. It looks like just an array of
It's a grid, yeah.
Yeah, grid. So yeah, you want to know more? There's all kinds of stuff in here. I'm just teasing you. Take a look. All right. So we're gonna go back to here.
Okay. Hi, folks.
Thanks for taking us on that, taking a journey with us. That's really what I have for this demo of Radio Meteor Zoo.
David, I have no idea.
Oh, Yagi. Oh, I don't think it is. I don't think it's a Yagi. And I saw Daniel here before. He is going to know better, but I think I know something about the Yagi in particular, and I don't think that that's what this one is.
Okay.
So yeah, ask Daniel. Daniel tweet.
Yeah. Scroll.
Oh,
yeah.
Sorry. Oops. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
There you go.
Okay, so some stellar events this week. Oh, Daniel says it looks like a beam.
A beam. Well, that's new. Okay.
Okay.
You want me to show it?
Yeah.
Let's put it up here too.
Yeah.
I'll do this part while you're.
Okay. Some stellar events this week, October 8th through October 15th. On October 9th, Mercury is an inferior conjunction. Mercury and Mars are in conjunction. Venus and the Moon are in conjunction. What?
I had to. You're not out of questions. I know you're not. Yeah.
Okay. So what is an inferior conjunction?
I have a graph of that.
Oh, here. Let me put it back. Yep.
All right, so I found this graph. Let me get the whole thing in here. And it shows you a couple of other things too. So here we have the sun, and here we have the Earth. And this is the position of the inferior conjunction. In our case, from Earth, there will only be 2 planets that will be in the inferior conjunction.
If we're lucky.
Of course, if you're on Mars, then the Earth will also hit the inferior conjunction as well. And of course, greatest western elongation, greatest eastern elongation, superior conjunction. So this is sort of a graph. It's a little bit easier to demonstrate what this means. The planet will be basically
between
us and the sun.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. Okay, that was it. Well, you can go back to this.
Okay. Now I know. And knowing is half the battle for anyone who's old enough to know what that is.
You're going to show Jupiter and Saturn have been prominently featured in the night sky recent months. Yes.
Mm-hmm. In the middle of October, we'll present another graph.
Yes, that's what we're getting to.
We're getting there.
And the Orionids, right?
We'll peak. Typically one of the best meteor showers of spring.
What? Orion? Oh, it's spring for them, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fall for us, spring for you. Most meteor showers can be traced back to debris left
Yep.
behind by a comet. Yep. And the comet responsible for the annual Orionids
It's
is
Halley's.
none other than Halley's. Yep.
Excellent. Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Okay. And on the 9th, the moon is 3 days old, heading west when the sun sets, and Venus and the moon should look spectacular if it's clear.
If it's clear.
Yeah. You guys will probably have different weather than us, but we've been. Oh, why don't you show?
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, okay. I don't know. It's all space, right? Upside down, right side up. We won't care when we're out there.
oops. Okay. Also, meteor action.
Yeah.
Draconid meteor shower peaks on the 9th, late evening. The small moon, which sets early, helps tremendously.
Right. And you want a dark side for
Yeah.
meteor showers, always.
Yep.
They're going up. Thanks, Cliff.
Those would be those neutrino meteors that are going through the Earth.
No, David, you got to stick around. We need a report from the Southern Hemisphere, too. We don't have to start today, but we can if you want. Go ahead. You got a little more here, right?
Yeah.
The 10th, the 12th, so on.
October 10th, torrid fireball season peaks. And okay, I'm used to play D&D, so I'm thinking wizard minotaurs, torrid fireball season. October 12th, first quarter moon. Also, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy turns 42, and it's official, as Cliff mentioned. Star Trek's William Shatner, along with Blue Origin's Audrey Powers, will fly on New Shepard's 18th mission. They will join crewmates Chris Boschweizen, I don't know how to pronounce that, and Glenn DeVries for the flight, which lifts off October 12th.
So,
and it's also Cliff's birthday.
Cliff's birthday is on the 12th, too. Yay! Happy birthday, Cliff.
Yep. October 13th, Pluto and the moon are in conjunction. Also, weekly Space Hangout news roundup.
Their guy got sick. They had someone who was scheduled for Wednesday, but that person is unable to make it. We have a couple more from David. Should we run them?
Sure.
Thank you very much. We actually really love having you here. That's part of what we're doing. And let's see what else does David have to say? You never what?
He's poking at Cliff.
We love you, Cliff. We got one from Dan. Here we go. 2 extra spaces. Okay, that person's an actor?
No, the lady, the
the
Russian lady.
one who's on. Yeah, got it. Yes, thank you. I forgot about that.
Yeah, they're
Thank
filming
you very
on
much.
ISS. Actually.
Right. Yes.
I'm just wondering about.
It's all relative, Cliff. We love having you here. Thank you so much for joining. But where are you at?
Right there.
Okay. I thought you did this one already.
Yes, I did. Okay.
There you go.
We got hung up on the Hangout. Weekly Space Hangout.
Yeah.
October 14th, Saturn and the moon are in conjunction. October 15th, Jupiter and the moon are in conjunction. And on either night, look south to east for the bright planets and the moon, which is 8 to 9 days old, waxing toward full. Although I think for you guys down in Australia that you'd be looking north for those. But
see, that's why we need you to be here and make a report, because I've never been to the Southern Hemisphere. I don't know.
Yep.
Tell us, is that what happens?
Well, I would imagine that the plane of the ecliptic is north for you guys, right?
And I appreciate that, Cliff.
Yeah, and Cliff, she has to put up with me 7 days a week.
So I need the laugh.
How can I say you get that sort of thing from me too?
Sure. And you know
So
what? Then we're
mean.
back to the Friday night show. Find us Fridays at 9 p.m. Pacific time on the Everyday Spacer Facebook page and the Everyday Spacer YouTube channel. In fact, you know what? We're I'm going to hit 100 soon. I've been doing
And
almost
you're looking really good.
100 lives on November 5th. That will I calculated out. I think that's when I will have done 100 of these live type shows. What do you got, Cliff? You like my picks to the
Oh yeah. I think we.
you gotta remind me. I know you sent some. I forget what they were. I loved them, of course.
So, if someone you know has done something interesting involving space exploration, science, or astronomy,
Or
we'd love to share.
if you have.
Yeah, I could read all the words. We'd love to share our live. Join us next Friday, October 15th, for Active Asteroids, another citizen science project of Zooniverse. And I guess that's.
Did you see anything about it yet? I haven't seen anything about it yet.
Oh, I looked at it, but I didn't.
Okay.
Didn't do anything.
Tune in for more next week.
Yeah, Active Asteroids, as opposed to those lazy layabouts, I suppose.
And we do have some future guests we're negotiating with, lining up. Pamela Getty said yes. We just need a date now. Dave Dickinson, we'll have him back. Again, we need a date. We've been talking to Dr. Adam Dybert. He's going to actually come and tell us about his helium-3 experiment.
Yeah,
in
not
November.
necessarily space related, but it's really interesting.
It's science, though. Space, science, astronomy.
Yeah,
We like them all.
Yep.
LLMP. I have no idea what that is.
Yeah.
You better tell me. Let's see. Yeah, we're talking to Daniel Fox, Greg Ellison, Tim Pickens, Sherry J, Chelsea Gould. I just emailed her again today. And Don Dowdy. With any luck, we will have some more guests coming soon. But next week, so far, we have a citizen science project that, if that changes, we will make sure to spread the word and talk to you about our next guest. You got anything else?
No.
You got anything else? Cliff? David? Daniel? Tex? Who else was here tonight? Thank you. I'm looking.
Did you get Michael?
Michael, thank you. Thank you for being here. Dan. Where are we at? I think did I get everybody?
Yes.
Yay! Come back next week. We will be here again. Oops. Nope. There's another comment. I saw another comment. You want to get it?
Oh, live long and prosper.
Live long and prosper.
Yeah.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.